Now let us try to understand the functioning of these doshas with respect to a simple motorcycle. As I said earlier that these doshas are present everywhere, right from the universe to the human body. So let us understand how these doshas may function in a motorcycle. Alright, a normal fuel based motorcycle where the motorcycle eats fuel in the form of petrol or diesel, whatever, and then it runs. So here what is the function of Vata dosha, right? So the entire functioning of the motorcycle, that is the running of the motorcycle and everything, is a function of Vata dosha. Whatever movement is happening inside the motorcycle is a function of Vata dosha, whether it is moving of the handle or the movement of the tires. Everything is a function of Vata dosha. Now when you are considering dosha, that means there is a corrupting factor. So let us see how the Vata dosha can corrupt this bike. Okay, so one of the biggest corrupting factor of Vata dosha is wear and tear inside the body, whatever body, whether it is the body of that bike or even the human body. So what happens, because of this constant constant working of the this instrument, there is a natural wear and tear that happens. And the same thing happens across universe. Wherever there is a movement, there are chances of wear and tear. There are chances of friction, right? So after some time, after few years, you will see wear and tear in the parts of that motorcycle, and this is the dosha effect. This is the corrupting, this is the polluting effect of Vata dosha on this bike. Again, on a temporary basis, on an immediate basis, the bike, you can accelerate it a lot and it can go running and crashing somewhere, right, if you're not able to manage it. That is also one of the excess of Vata dosha, and if it is not running at all, then there is a deficiency of Vata dosha. So see how beautifully this pattern of work can be seen in a simplest thing like a motorcycle, right? Now let us see how Pitta dosha, Pitta metabolic pattern affects a motorcycle. If we look at that, then the Pitta dosha is basically fire dominant, transforming energy. It transforms everything. It doesn't move, but it transforms. Let us look at the simple example of fire. Fire doesn't move. It doesn't walk. It doesn't run unless and until there is wind. Okay, but fire transforms. It changes everything that comes inside it. Okay, and it disintegrates it into the subtler part and the grosser part. So even with fire, you will find smoke, which is absolutely subtle, and ash. In the similar manner, let us take the example of this motorcycle and understand how Pitta dosha functions inside it. And there is a abode of Pitta dosha in the motorcycle, where when you see the tank full of petrol or diesel or whatever, or gas, right? So this fuel is transformed by the Pitta dosha from this fuel to energy that runs the bike, and this energy helps in movement. It is not exactly moving the parts, but this Pitta dosha is not moving the part, but it is providing, it is the source of energy that moves the part, and this energy is used by Vata dosha. Yeah, so all of these pillars of existence, they support each other. So now we have seen Pitta dosha. Dosha, the corrupting factor of Pitta, is when it gets hyperactive, then the bike can get overheated, right? It can get overheated, and at the same time, if there is a deficiency, then there is no conversion of Pitta dosha of fuel to the energy. If there is no inflammation or combustion inside the bike. Alright, so this is one thing. The third dosha is The Kapha Dosha, and Kapha Dosha is the creation. It is actually the physical presence of anything. Cannot exist, cannot be without the Kapha Dosha. So all the body parts, all the parts of this bike, they are under the Kapha Dosha. All the parts, the lubrication, everything, it comes under Kapha Dosha. Now Kapha Dosha is the mildest dosha. Why? Because it creates minimum imbalance. Yeah, but still it creates imbalance in the way, like if there is excess of kapha, in the way that bike keeps standing in one place for a very long time. You leave the bike in one place for a very long time, then what will happen? Maybe it will develop rust, maybe it will develop, some kind of a greasy layer, dust, dirt. Maybe if you are living in a very cold climate, it may develop frost, ice, jammed by ice, jamming part. When a system gets jammed because of overgrowth, over aggregation, then this is an excess of kapha dosha. And obviously the wear and tear is the deficiency of kapha dosha, when the parts are breaking away. So kapha dosha that leads to formation and creation of sustainability of existence is decreasing. So this is the way, in the simple way, you can see that this bike itself is a model of how these patterns function. And this brings me to the beautiful concept of prakriti or body type that we are going to discover later. For now, we can discover the body type of this motorcycle. I would love to hear your answers. Which is the dominant dosha in this motorcycle? For this, I'll give you some examples. Let us take the example of a fan. Okay. Now this fan, it generates heat, little bit of heat when it works, and it generates a lot of movement, and obviously it has a structure. It may also develop rust. Alright. But what is the major function? So the major function of fan is displacement. It works because of movement, and then this is the reason why the body type of this fan is Vata dominant. And I want you to look around, look at the tube light, look at the bulb, why it is functioning. What is the major function? The major function in any bulb or tube light is transformation. It is transforming electricity into light energy. So a bulb is Pitta dominant, and hence I want you to look around yourself and find as many things, classify them according to these doshas. This exercise will help you to understand the concept of dosha.